Imagine stepping back in time, not just a few centuries, but millions of years. The year is 3.7 million years ago. The place, Latoli, in modern-day Tanzania. The world is a vastly different landscape, a mix of woodland and savanna, teeming with life forms that would seem like mythical beasts to us today. This isn't just a random moment in history. It's a pivotal chapter in our own story, the story of human origins. In this ancient world walks a creature that is undeniably one of our earliest ancestors, Australopithecus afarensis. You probably know the most famous example, Lucy. These hominins were small, standing just over a meter tall. They had a blend of ape-like and human-like features. Their faces were projecting, with strong jaws, but critically, they walked upright on two legs. This ability, known as bipedalism, was a revolutionary adaptation. It freed their hands to carry tools, food, and their young. It allowed them to see over tall grasses, spotting both predators and opportunities. Life for Australopithecus was a daily struggle for survival. They were not at the top of the food chain. Far from it. They were prey. The world around them was filled with dangers that would test their wit and agility every single moment. Imagine the sounds of this prehistoric landscape. The roar of a saber-toothed cat. The heavy tread of a Dinotherium, an ancient elephant-like creature with downward curving tusks. Every rustle in the bushes could mean life or death. Spood. They likely lived in small social groups, relying on each other for protection and support. Their diet was mostly plant-based, fruits, nuts, seeds, and tubers they dug from the rich African soil. But they were also opportunistic, perhaps scavenging meat from the kills of larger predators when they could. They didn't have fire to cook, or a complex language to coordinate, but they had intelligence and a strong social bond. Now, let's add another creature to this scene, a true giant of its time. Lurking in the undergrowth, or coiled in the branches of a tree, is an ancestor of the modern python. We aren't talking about the snakes we see today. Fossil evidence suggests that some prehistoric snakes could reach truly terrifying sizes. Picture a serpent far larger and more powerful than any anaconda or python alive now. A creature of immense girth and length. A silent, patient hunter. This giant python would have been a formidable predator for our early ancestors. Its hunting strategy was one of ambush. It would lie perfectly still, its patterned skin providing flawless camouflage against the dappled light of the forest floor or the bark of a tree. It would wait, for hours, perhaps even days, for the right moment. An unsuspecting Australopithecus, perhaps a juvenile separated from the group or an adult foraging for food, could wander too close. Quote, in a flash, faster than the eye can follow, the python would strike. It wouldn't use venom. Its power was in constriction. Massive coils of pure muscle would wrap around its victim, squeezing with relentless, crushing force. For a small hominin like Australopithecus, escape would be nearly impossible. This was a primal fear, a battle between a nascent intelligence and a raw ancient predator. This constant threat would have shaped the evolution of our ancestors in profound ways. It would have reinforced the importance of group living. There is safety in numbers. More eyes and ears mean a greater chance of spotting a camouflaged predator before it's too late. It would have driven the development of better communication alarm calls to warn the group of danger. It also highlights the incredible vulnerability of our lineage. We often think of human evolution as a triumphant march of progress, but for millions of years, it was a precarious existence. Our ancestors were not mighty hunters, they were often the hunted. They survived not through brute strength, but through cooperation, cleverness, and a sheer will to live. The famous Laetoli footprints, fossilized tracks left in volcanic ash by 3 Australopithecus individuals 3.6 million years ago, give us a hauntingly beautiful snapshot of this life. They show a small group, perhaps, a family walking together. They walked bipedally, just like us. When you see those footprints, you can almost feel the presence of the dangers they were navigating. 2. You can imagine them scanning the horizon, listening intently, ever watchful for predators like the giant python. So, why does this encounter, this ancient drama between hominin and serpent, matter so much? Because it reminds us of the crucible in which humanity was forged. The pressures of predation, the constant need for vigilance and social cooperation. These were the very forces that may have pushed our ancestors down the path toward larger brains and more complex societies. The fear of the serpent in the grass is a deeply ingrained part of our evolutionary psychology for a reason. Our ancestors' ability to outsmart, outmaneuver, and outlast these incredible predators is a testament to their resilience. Every time they successfully avoided the python's ambush, every time they warned a fellow group member, they were writing another sentence in the long, epic story of human survival. They were small and vulnerable, living in a world of giants. But they had the seeds of something extraordinary within them. The adaptability and intelligence that would eventually allow their descendants to not just survive, but to thrive and eventually reshape the entire planet. From the perilous savannas of ancient Africa to the cities and technologies of today, the journey has been long and fraught with danger. The next time you see a snake, perhaps you'll feel a faint echo of that ancient fear. It's a reminder of where we came from, and of the incredible, nail-biting story of survival that allowed us to be here today. Our history is not just one of kings and empires. It begins here, with a small, upright ape-like creature trying to avoid becoming a meal for a giant python. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our incredible past. What ancient creature would you least want to encounter? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.